So, Microsoft has just dropped the 2026 update for the AZ-104 Azure Administrator exam. And while the basic format, 180 minutes, 700 points to pass is staying the same, the content has been seriously overhauled. It's all focused now on AI integration, hybrid cloud via Azure Arc, and a mandatory transition to the Microsoft Graph PowerShell SDK.
Exactly. And what's striking is that they've finally killed off the old Azure AD PowerShell modules. It's a clear signal. Microsoft is essentially saying that if you're still using scripts from 3 years ago, you're officially obsolete in their eyes. This isn't a suggestion, it's a mandate.
It's a bold move toward modernization. But the real meat of this update lies in how the weight of the exam domains has shifted to reflect these new priorities.
That's right.
The exam weightings have shifted to reflect this intelligent cloud. The compute section now demands knowledge of Azure OpenAI and container apps, while the networking and governance sections are now heavily anchored in Azure Arc for hybrid environments. Even the monitoring section focuses on AI-driven anomaly detection and KQL queries.
It's fascinating because they're forcing admins to become hybrid specialists. You can't just live in the Azure bubble anymore. You have to prove you can manage a server sitting in a basement in Ohio or a resource in AWS, all through the Azure portal using Arc. The cloud is now just a pane of glass to manage everything.
I see. So it's not just about what's times and times Azure, but what you can times control times with Azure.
And here is the real so what moment. The inclusion of AI-driven VM optimization and Copilot integration means they are baking the AI assistant directly into the administrator's workflow. It's a fundamental change in the job itself.
So instead of digging through logs for 3 hours, you're now expected to use KQL and AI-driven insights to find the needle in the haystack in maybe 3 minutes.
Precisely, it's about speed and scale. But to handle this new complexity without breaking the bank, Microsoft has also doubled down on a very specific area: governance and cost.
Right. A huge part of the new exam focuses on automation and money. They've fully integrated Bicep for policy as code and added heavy testing on Azure Savings Plans and Spot VMs. They've even removed legacy tools like Chef and Puppet in favor of pure Azure automation and Ansible.
That's the digital librarian shift. Microsoft is saying, don't you dare manually move files to cold storage. Write a Bicep template that does it for you based on tags. It's about building systems that manage their own costs and compliance, and the admin is the architect of that system, nota manual operator.
It's clear that the ClickOps era is dying. So, for those looking to tackle this new 8 to 10 week learning path, what's the bottom line? What are the absolute must-knows?
Well, if I had to boil it all down, there are 5 key takeaways. First, you have to become an AI-first admin. That means deploying Azure OpenAI services and using tools like Copilot are now part of your daily job. Second, hybrid is mandatory. Azure Arc isn't a bonus feature, it's a core requirement for managing everything everywhere. Third, Bicep over Bash. Your proficiency in infrastructure as code, specifically Bicep, is now non-negotiable for everything from policy to backups. Fourth, Graph is the new law. All your old Azure AD PowerShell skills have to be replaced by the Microsoft Graph PowerShell SDK. And finally, you have to develop a FinOps focus. Cost optimization through savings plans, spot VMs, and automated storage tiering is now a huge part of your score and, more importantly, your value to a business.